The Mike Hosking Breakfast, 6 to 9 weekdays on Newstalk ZB.
G'day there. I would like to thank, in fact, we should all be thankful to Kelly Eckhold, sometime participant on the radio program and most of the time economist at Westpac, for his thinking around the future of the Reserve Bank. As I've said many, many times, if one good thing came out of COVID, it put the Reserve Bank, its role and influence, front and centre for many more of us than may really have paid attention to its workings previously and its ability to shape everyday aspects of our lives. Eckhold suggests the new governor put the inflation target a little bit higher than the current 1.3% band. Historically, we sit, he tells us, about 2.5%, so chasing less than that can have a lot of effects that you may or may not want. Do remember, of course, some inflation is good. You want inflation. You just don't want the amount we've had, and you want it produced by growth, not just cost-plus accounting from people like councils and the power companies. More importantly for me, is the public accountability he suggests. The Quigley-Orr debacle shows you what can go on when public disclosure is not as fulsome as it could be. Eckhold wants the Monetary Committee, for example, that vote made public. Excellent idea, so it should be. It's not often there's a divergence, actually, but there has been lately. In fact, the last statement, you might remember, involved a 4-2 vote. That had never happened before. 4-2 never happened before. So why don't we know who they were and what they said and why they thought the way they did? Well, the rules as they stand mean a person on the committee can in fact out themselves, but you will notice from last time, no one has. Why not? Next idea, a press conference should be held after each meeting, not just the ones that produce a cash rate call. Excellent. I know I'm a wonk, by the way, I cannot press enough on you the value of watching these things live. Not just the Reserve Bank, but politicians who these days, thanks to digital coverage of places like the Herald and stuff, run them in their full routinely. The irony of that is you would be amazed what you can learn as opposed to what you may or may not learn from an edited version, often curtailed to a point of nonsense later in the day in a news bulletin, for example. Now, the best example is the Prime Ministerial press conference on a Monday after Cabinet. Or maybe Winston Peters over the weekend. Went for in excess of an hour, watched the whole thing. It was informative. So more presses, more transparency, which is more detail, more sunlight, more inquisition, more knowledge. What possibly could the Reserve Bank argue is wrong with that?
The Mike Hosking Breakfast, 6 to 9 weekdays on Newstalk ZB.